Hello everybody, my name is Marlowe and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Survival here in the single player world. In the last video we built this bee factory that you can see behind me, and I've been doing a fair bit of work off camera, so very quickly allow me to catch you up. First things first, we now have some bees living in the factory, and I've placed some hives down, not to harvest them for honey, just so we can have some buzzy little buddies flying around, giving this place some more atmosphere. As you can see, I've now connected up the tube so we can actually see items flowing through. This one is functional, this one is purely aesthetic. And that's because I am no longer farming honey bottles, only honeycomb. So we have the honeycomb side copied round to the other one too. Just got rid of the honey bottle one. I was having problems with it and I thought I don't really need honey bottles, honestly. So the honey bottles flowing through these tubes are just on a continuous cycle going in and out of a dropper on one big water loop going round and round forever until I accidentally probably pick them up. It's bound to happen eventually. But the other pipe where our honeycomb flows to is connected up to this chest here, as well as over on the other side, and as you can see, it's working very well. No, I did it! I picked one up. It's okay, I can just go like this and chuck it back in the cycle. Like I said, I don't really need a huge supply of honey bottles, but it would be nice to have a small supply of them, which is why I've added in this hidden entranceway underground leading to a manual honey bottle farm, so I can grab my bottles from this barrel here and go around and harvest it manually if I ever need it for whatever reason. I probably never will because I'm not a redstoner, but I think it's good to have regardless. And last but not least, I have added in a flower garden just out the back of the factory here. And this is in place because beforehand we only had 6 flowers nearby, which wasn't really enough. So hopefully this will encourage the bees to come out here and not stray too far away from the factory itself. So now the bee farm and factory is fully done, I'm going to go around, scrape all of my copper to the level I want it to be, and give it a nice coat of wax. And here is the final copper piece waxed. Very nice. We are done. That took a while. I am definitely going to have to start pre-waxing my copper before building with it because I don't want to do that every single time I make a build. There are only 2 spots that I haven't scraped and waxed, and that is here on my staircase and also on the floor of the bee factory. That's because I want them to be the fully oxidized copper. Anyway, shall we get started with today's project? I think we should. So today we are going to be building a nether portal. One a little bit like this, except hopefully better looking and also quite a bit bigger and not just hidden away in a cave somewhere. I want to have mine on show. So I think I'm going to put my nether portal here, just in front of this mountain, which actually is going to need a little bit of terraforming because the shape of it at the moment doesn't really match the shape of my nether portal, so a little bit of terraforming will have to take place. But that's no trouble at all. It'll definitely be not quite as extreme as last episode's terraforming. Had to basically carve out a giant chunk in the mountain. This one, we just have to move back by a couple of blocks. So I'm going to get some resources together and then we can get to building. So here is our custom nether portal, and it looks pretty darn awesome if I do say so myself. It probably doesn't need that much explaining, but I will just highlight a couple of points which we should probably get a little bit closer for. So the first things I'm going to talk about are these. What are these meant to be? Well, originally I wanted to build some sort of Tesla coil as a way to possibly power the nether portal, turning it off and on, that sort of thing, but Tesla coils are hard to build in Minecraft, so I've come up with something similar. I'm not sure what this is, what it does, but it looks technical and looks like it's connected to the portal somehow. I'm not really sure. The only other thing I want to mention is round here, we have these levers and lightning rods. Now this is a little trick I saw on Reddit a little while ago. I'm not sure who from specifically. Sorry to the person who first came up with this, but you can use it in a very industrial way to look like piping, and if I try and find like a reference image, I'll put some credit up on the screen, everything like that, but you can create something like this, which looks awesome. Obviously this is a much simplified version, it's just meant to be some like wiring, maybe possibly connected to these things over here, but yeah, I wanted to incorporate that somehow because ever since I first saw that, I just thought it was so awesome and couldn't wait to use it in a build. I'm sure I'll use it again at some point. So this clip is a little bit out of order. I'm currently building up the nether portal. As you can see, I got all my blocks ready, but my tools are diminishing and I want to use my furnace here, and this will be the first time using it since it's been fixed in the last episode. So even though this is going to mess the continuity up a little bit, I still want to try it on camera because I'm curious as to see if this actually works better or not. Well, it did my pickaxe. Did it also do my axe and my elytra and gave me like 7 levels, right? Something like that. So yeah, not too bad at all. Anyway, back to the episode. How awesome does that look? I now have Optifine back, as you can probably tell from the huge amount of zooming in I'm doing, and you can mess with the fog settings in Optifine, which I've been missing tremendously, and I've got it set so the fog actually starts appearing a lot sooner than it does in normal Minecraft, and it just makes for these beautiful silhouettes of your builds that look even better when the sun is going down behind it. I have really missed having Optifine installed. Anyway, before mobs start spawning, there's just one other thing I want to mention, and that is you'll notice we have some amethyst blocks used as sort of like a highlights block for this build, which I really like and I may honestly keep, but I originally wanted to use crying obsidian just to, you know, kind of resemble the nether portal and use some similar blocks and colors, but crying obsidian, it's not that easy to get hold of. I know you can barter for it, but it takes a while and I could get it from ruined portals, but I needed like quite a few blocks, so I might change that at some point, or I'll just keep with the amethyst. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think would be better. Oh no, we have some mobs. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed and then we'll move on to the next thing, which actually involves going to the nether itself. Unlike these two guys, I am yet to use my nether portal, and that's because I would like to link it to a portal that doesn't yet exist. My plan is to go on top of the roof of the nether and make myself a nether hub of sorts. I probably won't do it in that much depth today, but I just want to be able to get up there and link this portal to the main portal that I'm going to be using. The trouble is, I have of course not been to the roof of the nether before, so I'm going to have to get up there and then break some bedrock, and then I can link the portals. And if you've ever done that before, trying to get on the roof of the nether and break bedrock, it's not always plain sailing. Thankfully, I have a tutorial to follow from Sassy Fish, and I've actually watched it through, tried it out in a test world, and it worked really easily, worryingly easy. So I can only imagine when I'm here in my actual world, something's going to go wrong, but I'm going to get my supplies, and then we'll head to the nether and see if we can find a very special piece of bedrock. And here is that very special piece of bedrock. Now, I'm not going to tell you all about this because you can just go and watch the video that I'll link in the description if you want to find out how to do this, but this is the type of bedrock we're looking for. It's basically like the last layer before you're actually on the roof of the nether, so we need to come all the way up here with some ladders. So if we just place them like this, get a single ender pearl, and we're going to ender pearl ourselves right into this bedrock. Now, you need to be holding W whilst you do this, pressing forward, and in theory, I throw this and I'm through. Just like that. Wonderful. Okay, now before we lose our spots, I'm going to go ahead and mark it with a piston. Wow, this place is ever so desolate. So here is our bedrock breaking machine, courtesy of Sassy Fish once again. So what we need to do here, first of all, get a piston, second of all, get under this trapdoor, and then we're going to flick this lever and spam the heck out of the right click, which I've actually now keybinded to a key on my keyboard just because I can mash that a bit faster. And hopefully it should do some technical stuff and break the bedrock. So here we go. I've got my armor on just in case the explosion is quite damaging. So we're going to flick that, come over here, line ourselves up with a spot, and I'm gonna rest this really, really quickly. And I think that actually, if we break this, oh, that's placing it. If we break this, there should be a hole. Yes! Oh, that is very satisfying. So now we've got our hole. In theory, all I need to do is build my nether portal here, light it, and when we go through, hopefully it should put me out at our new custom portal. Let's keep our fingers crossed because I hate dealing with this sort of thing if it goes wrong. Which it hasn't. Wonderful. Okay, it's nighttime. Let's just head back through just to make sure it chucks me back up at the top of the roof of the nether. Ideally, it has. Okay, that is awesome. I can go ahead and probably get rid of my other nether portals now because this will be my main one, and this is how I'll actually get down to the proper nether if I need it. And by the way, in case it wasn't clear, the whole reason why we're doing this is because eventually I'm going to have lots of different points in the nether that I want to get to, whether it's farms, biomes, whatever it may be. It's going to be so much easier just flying around on the roof of the nether here instead of having to make my way around the maze that is the actual nether generation. So each time I have a location where I want to actually go down and visit, I'll just pop another hole in the bedrock and, you know, have a trail of torches or something like that leading to where I actually need to go. Something very simple, but in the long run, it just makes my life so much easier. And maybe at some point in time, not today as I said, but we could always build a nice little nether hub. So I've come back to the overworld to do one thing and one thing only. Craft TNT. And why, you may ask? Well, I'm gonna go blow up the nether for one good reason. To get myself some netherite. We've been in this diamond for a long time and I think we're well overdue an upgrade, as well as all of my tools down the bottom here. So I still got some time left to record this episode. Let's go on a search for ancient debris. Which, in my opinion, the easiest way to do that is to blow the nether to smithereens. Also, before we head in here, quick question for you guys. Do you think we should replace the stone that's behind the portal here with something else? You can hardly see. Honestly, that's kind of why I didn't do it in the first place. Plus, it makes sense having stone back there, I think. But if you guys have any ideas of what we could possibly do to maybe bring out some detail in this actual portal, then let me know down in the comments and we can always add that in next episode. So I, right now, am in search of a biome that isn't full of basalt. I need something that's a little less blast resistant, so anything like netherrack would actually be fine. This might be a pretty good spot. It doesn't go anywhere. Well, we need to dig down anyway, so let me dig down, make sure we stay in the nether waste. No, we're in a soul sand valley. That's fine, that works. Make sure we stay within this netherrack, and then we can get to explodificating. Well, there we go. That saves me some time. That's the trouble though. We do not want lava. That makes everything so much more complicated. So I'm gonna keep flying, I think. I found a pretty good spot. We're around lots of netherrack and I didn't see much lava, but then again, I honestly have no idea until I start blowing up the terrain. So I'm gonna head down to Y level 15 because according to Google, that is the best Y level to get ancient debris on. I understand you guys probably can't see a thing right now, but take my word for it. That's a long tunnel, and I'm just going to place down all of my TNT. I understand this is probably not the most efficient way to go about it, but if I run out, I just got to go mine some sand. I have plenty of gunpowder to make more if I need to, so I don't really mind if I'm not doing this in the best way possible. And here we are. Right back at the start here, I've placed down nearly a stack of TNT, so this should create quite the tunnel. I've got my flame bow, and I guess let's just do it and see what destruction this causes. Let's also run away because I do not want to die in here. Well, it started making a chain. That's a good beginning, and of course it stopped. Okay, that was incredibly anticlimactic. Let's go again. And we've stopped once more. Okay, well, looks like I'm going to have to slowly make my way through. This isn't going to be quite as epic as I thought it was going to be. Well, I made it to the end of the tunnel, had to shoot my bow a million times, but we made it in the end. And running along here, I've actually seen quite a few pieces, so this seemed to be quite a good tunnel. I'm going to go through, mine it all, and see how many we have. Just a quick reminder, I'm looking for 32 ancient debris in total, that way I can fully upgrade all of my tools and armor. 4. Just 4. I could have swore I saw more, but no I didn't, 4 was it. So that is enough for 1 ingot. I need 28 more, so I'm gonna keep at this for a while and I'll update you when I have a substantial amount. It might not be 32, but hopefully it'll be more than 4. Well, as you can see, we are halfway there, and no kidding, I got most of what is in my inventory right now just from doing this, digging out where I placed the TNT in. I think I must have had a really lucky run because I got like 7 from just going in a straight line for about a minute. So yeah, don't think that's gonna happen again, but we're making good progress. I was just about to stop recording, and what do I discover? A nice little Cinnabon. Thank you very much. Well, I'm now out of TNT, but I am sitting pretty at 26 ancient debris, which is quite a lot, but not enough. We are 6 short, so I'm just gonna dig for those final few. Oh, finally. I have been stuck on 31 ancient debris for God knows how long. I got the first 31 extremely quickly, but that last one, oh my goodness, does that take a while. Anyway, well, we done it now. I just have to go through my maze here and try and find a way home, and we can get this smelted up and get ourselves kitted out with some netherite. Well, we are back home safe and sound. I've got my debris here, the ancient variety. I'm gonna slap it in my blast furnaces, which is gonna cook it up extra fast, and then we can make some, what do we get? Netherite scraps that we can then turn into netherite ingots. Any second now, and there we go. 32 netherite scraps, we can turn it into 8 netherite ingots, which is enough for my axe, shovel, pickaxe, sword, chest plate, not that I really need it that desperately, and then my boots, leggings, and helmet. I'm not sure whether to do my sword or not. I don't really like one enchantment on what I've got set up here. Can you guess what? You probably can. It's the knockback. I'm not too over keen on it, to be honest, and ideally I'd like to get rid of it, but there's just so many other sword enchantments that are difficult to get. So I don't really have the effort or the energy to make a new sword right now, and besides it's only 4 ancient debris. I could probably get that again quite easily. Oh yes, look at me, looking super swanky in my new netherite. Feels good to finally look like a professional Minecrafter, instead of just stuck in diamond. To be honest, diamond is sufficient enough by a long shot, but the added bonus of netherite, which I really like, is not only can it not burn, that's a solid bonus, but also it's got more durability, which is just super helpful. It means my tools aren't always breaking constantly. They last a little bit longer this way. So there we go, everybody. That's going to do it for today's episode. I'm actually about to, hello donkey, head off to the end to do some end raiding because I am in desperate need of shulker boxes, but you guys have seen end raiding enough. You don't need to come along and join me for this one. It's just something I'm doing off camera, but I thought I'd let you know regardless. Maybe if I can remember at the start of next episode, I'll tell you how many shulker shells I got. But don't bank on it because I'll probably forget. Anyway, thank you guys ever so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed. I hope you like the nether portal design. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.